Welcome to Clarity and Purpose. Our world is full of people who are overworked and overwhelmed. They lose focus on what matters, struggle to find a vision for the future, and lose time with those they love. We help businesses and their teams clearly understand their purpose and help them communicate more effectively. I'm your host, James Thorne. I'm joined by my co-host, Jake Jordan. Hey, Jake.
Hey, James. I heard that when you were a kid, you wanted to be a public speaker.
You heard that through the grapevine?
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
And clearly you like the big stage because you're on the Millennium Falcon right now. I mean, you've got all the makings of what I would think would be a fantastic guest for this little show called Clarity and Purpose. What do you think?
Way to bring that one together. Good job, Jake. That was good.
Well, here's the thing. Our guest today is our fearless leader, James Thorne, and he's going to get that awesome, drumline intro right now. James Thorne is the founder of Quirk Growth and Bowtie Media. He's a husband. He's a father of two. He has a long history in building highly engaged and successful teams. Everywhere he's been in his career, there are happy people, great systems, and an awesome culture left behind. He's quirky, he's funny, he's determined to build amazing things. He is James Thorne.
Oh man, every time I hear those, I love them, but when it's your own, it's kind of funny, especially when it's a show you're a part and help run.
Yep.
Hearing it about yourself is pretty funny.
You're welcome. You've been begging for a long time to hear your name in that environment, so now you can die happy, I guess. Well, James, I mean, let's just go right to it. This is a show about clarity and purpose, and you are a dude that has plans on plans, and you have purpose, right? There are things you want to do with your life. So you started in the ministry world, and spent a good time there. Tell us a little bit about why you wanted to have that direction to start.
Growing up, I was in ministry with my dad being a pastor, and a lot of people being PKs end up not going that route. Pastor's kids, but I
played baseball there, PK.
Yeah. That's right. And I wanted to go that route and be in the church. I didn't know what my role really meant, and I kind of went down this little journey for a while, but really loved videos and graphics and design. I did that for an early season, and then jumped into really helping media and marketing for the overall church, and helped two big churches in DFW, a total of 10 years with the two of them, and a little over 10 years. But it was kind of really neat learning how marketing worked for a church, and then also how you do this in a way to bring in new people, just like you would in a business, but there's just a different end cause.
So what caused you to go, okay, this was cool, really enjoyed it, but now it's time to pop something of my own together?
Yeah. Well, I learned a lot of different things. I love thinking back, at each season of places that I've been, what I learned from there. And I learned even before I started working in churches, I was general manager of a CC's for a while, and did that for a few years. I really liked it, but I was just managing and learning how to put things together, trusted with a lot, but I wasn't treating people very well. And then I joined into the church world and I had to learn how to lead volunteers that weren't getting paid, and then to want to follow you without getting paid. And but I think through all that, I just really loved building teams, and I learned what it really meant to be a team player. I'm still learning that, growing in it, but I loved building teams. So the last place I was at, built a team up over about 5 or 6 years, and started with just me, and then got to about 6 people on the team, which is actually a pretty big team for just one department in a church. And I loved it. I loved every day coming in, running a team, building. So what I wanted to do to step out was I really wanted to build my own team. I just wanted to have something that I knew I had not just control over, but a way to create the dynamic and culture and feel that I was really looking for. And I was like, well, the only way it's gonna make that happen is if I do it myself.
Right.
And then it was, oh great, now I got to jump out and do it myself. So that's what led to that point.
So was that like just a super simple, I got this, I'm like, you know what, 2 weeks, guys, Now I'm out of here. That's how
Oh
that worked.
yeah, totally. Yeah, I was like, I got a new offer, and it's gonna ease over this paycheck to another paycheck. Yeah, so not at all. It was about a 6-month process of me dialoguing with my oversights. I was trying to do my best too to like leave well, but a lot of it was fear, and
Yeah.
really trying to get to a point where I could create at least enough of a buffer to step out onto. And I love the term, me and my buddy Chris Gravy love joking about, you're just, and someone else has said this in the past, but you're just falling out of the sky trying to build a plane while you're falling out of the sky. And that's literally what it felt like. And it's scary.
Yeah.
But that was the hardest part, honestly, was stepping
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Is it just the monetary stuff, or was there more around that fear than just, hey, do I have enough money to feed my family?
No, yeah, I mean that's a big one. I think money's a big one. I was really learning what it meant to trust. I'm obviously a Christian working in the church, but trust God
Mhm.
in that, and then the fear of just like what's that really mean for building a team and doing that. If I really want to do it right, how soon and early should I start bringing people on? Because that's always a big fear. I feel like with any business, it's like that. You get to the point where there's not enough technically to take care of somebody fully, but you have too much on your plate, and there's this weird dynamic.
Right.
So I just decided I was going to jump early and take some risks with those people.
Hmm.
Um, even to the point where the first person I brought on, and she's still with us, she's awesome. But she came on. Do what? Yeah,
Jelly.
Shelly. Yep, we'll just throw it out there. Shelly,
Shout
she's
out.
awesome.
Yeah.
Um, she's been with us since the beginning, and she came on and I was like, don't work more than 5 hours a week. It's like, don't do it.
Yeah.
And it was scary, but it's like, hey, it worked for her in the time that she was in, and then we've grown from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely scary doing anything like that.
Hey, let's take a quick break from our interview and talk about something a lot of people are going through right now. There are a lot of people that hit a major slowdown during the COVID crisis. Many of our clients came to us and said sales are down, and we're looking to have to lay people off, possibly sell buildings or other assets. Is there anything we can do to get momentum back in the business? The good news is the items are actually helping our clients, and we wanted to help other people with the advice that we gave them. So we built a guide you can download for free called Grow Again: what you do in your business when you get hit by the unexpected. We want you, the audience, to have it too. It contains 7 videos that explain the strategies we shared with our clients. It has 4 screen shares that show you exactly how we apply the techniques to our business, and it has 4 worksheets and scripts that you can literally pick up today and use yourself. So go to quirkgrowth.com/growagain and download your copy today. All right, let's get back to the interview.
So here you are a couple years later, and you built a team, and things are rocking and rolling, and then the RONA.
The Rona.
What fears hit you then? I mean, were they the same? Were they different? What happened then?
Well, yeah, it wasn't as much as a bigger difference for me outside of some of our clients. Like when we went before Rona struck, yes, we're up to like 9 people on the team in under 2 years, like a year and a half, and that is scary. That's it's not like we're bringing in the dough right now. We're in a place where it's like, okay, it's working, but it's scary, and I want everyone to be taken care of.
Mhm.
When the pandemic struck, we really it was fear of like, okay, we're gonna lose some of these retainers that we've gained, we lose some of these big clients that we've got, and we did lose
We did.
a decent sized one
Mhm.
that really hurt, and that's the big fear too. It's like, okay, and what I wasn't worried about at that point, my own salary and my family. I was worried about who on the team's going to be affected and what
Mhm.
that really means for them, because and anyone knows this, that happens on the team, you're providing for those families, and it's a joy,
Yeah.
but also very scary.
Yeah. It is. It is. So when you had to make some of those decisions like everybody else did, um, we kind of did this thing where we did a little bit of a reboot, like everyone else kind of did, who survived so far, right? Is we've gone that word everyone loves right now, pivot. Is go, what can we do moving forward? How can we get clear on how to build this thing? How can we get clear about how we can keep people on
Right.
staff and keep clients happy? And what was that process like for you? How are you trying to get clarity?
Yeah, I do say that part of this pandemic was a blessing in disguise for us
Mhm.
because it made us pause and take a minute, because we weren't getting as much work quickly, and a lot of people weren't wanting to. The meetings I had set up, because I feel like I was doing pretty good. We were having a good pace. The meetings I had for future work all got pushed back, and we were at the time more of a traditional kind of more ad agency feel, even though we were a little different. Um, and when we paused, I was like, okay, well, let's work on us for a little bit. It's like, okay, might as well work on something. Might as well work on us. So
It's
I started, I did a lot of mission vision stuff. I read The Vision Driven Leader by Michael Hyatt. Took some courses from Donald Miller, productivity stuff, and read some books, Bob Goff and
Jeff Henderson.
yeah, Jeff Henderson,
Know
Know What You're
Before, yeah.
For, and
Yep.
yeah, and then started listening to some podcasts. So I just immersed myself in trying to figure out where we're at, where are we going, and was really neat coming out of that. As we looked at the strengths of our team, and really the things we love to do in the future we see in it, and we're like, we're not an ad agency.
Yeah.
That's not what we want to do, and it's not what we want to be. I just felt like that's what we had to kind of present ourselves as and put us in the market.
Right.
And really, no, that's not what we want to do at all. We want to help people clarify who they are and their purpose.
Mhm.
And what's cool about it is that's what also created this podcast.
Yeah.
It's what created our entire new plan or journey that we have, that have probably half of it was stuff we already did, but
Right.
we realized what worked together, and we started educating ourselves on more things.
Right.
And yes,
Well,
it gained a ton of clarity.
and we became more clear on why we wanted to do those activities in the first place, not just to get clients. Like you said, I think that's interesting that if people have services now that they like doing, but it's just not working well for them, is the services aren't the problem. A lot of times, it's the clear path where you're going and why you going there, and then
Right.
let's see what services would make sense in this path. So, if you had to tell a business owner who's still kind of hanging in there and trying to figure things out, um, what could they do over the next 90 days or so to really put themselves in a great position for 2021? What would you recommend to them?
Yeah, so I'll get to that by also saying, having that plan for us is
Uh-huh.
what really I think is setting us apart now,
Yep.
because it's not about the services we offer at all.
Right.
It's about this journey we're taking you to this destination,
Hmm.
and it's like visual. People see it, they look at it, and they're like, "Oh, absolutely, that's where I want to be. It's what I'm going to do. It's what it takes to get there. All the steps make sense." So what I would say, and this is kind of where we start, and for a while we were making fun of the PPP loan, but we got our own PPP program,
Right.
but it's purpose, positioning, a powerful message, and if you can figure those three things out, and you're like, oh yeah, I know my purpose, or I know how I'm positioned in the market. Like, do you really? Because that's the thing. Most people really don't.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of things you can do, and there's frameworks, simple frameworks you can walk through that really identify your true purpose, where you're positioned, and then how to put your message in a way that really relates to the clients that you're trying to get. So you do those three things right, and then everything else comes after that. But the foundational piece is your website, email marketing, things you can control,
Right.
and then communication pieces that really build from there, that are, maybe it's ads, or it's a social media campaign, or maybe you're a public speaker. It doesn't really matter. Those foundational pieces is what's important. So I say think about those three things first.
Right.
Do that right, everything else comes together,
Right.
because so many people go into, and I'm having meetings right now with people, I mean with other agencies, and they're creating the web package and their branding package, and great things, good things,
Mhm.
but none of that matters if you don't do these other three things first.
That's right.
So that's what we realized, that we weren't putting that in order, and making that journey clear. So yeah, that's what's exciting. That's why I tell everyone that you have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you know how to do it with us, but you have to do it.
Yeah. That's good. And it's funny how you get off path sometimes, thinking about how you can create more value can almost end up with something else that we could offer to make some money so
Right.
that they'll get some value, versus how can we solve a problem? How can we
Yeah.
help people get from A to B? And that's really when you reset there. It's awesome things. We've already seen
Oh,
some great stuff happen from that.
and
And
we are losing people due
Mhm.
to us knowing what works. And it's,
yeah, but we're saying no more, right?
yeah, so it's better. Like, it's like
Yeah.
interesting how, and we are in a season where we do need some more revenue, some things to happen. Like, yes, we're not just any better than anyone else right now in this year, 2020, but um, when people come in and they're looking for a website and they're like, no, I really want to do that, so I just really need a website up and going and running. And well, then we're not the right fit,
Right.
because that's not what we want to do. We want to help you actually get people to go through with your own journey and your own path with that website as a tool.
Right. Exactly.
That's just one
So
example.
that's right. That's right. Well, in that vein, we will have the link to that PPP, that free PPP walkthrough that we do, and right below this stuff, so you can download it and it doesn't cost you a thing. And we hope it helps you. And then if you want our help, of course, we're here. But that is a pretty good wrap on RONA for Quirk, I'd say. Anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No, yeah, I think you need to have clarity and purpose in your business, and it needs to make sense. If you don't have a plan and a journey, get one. Take a minute, really figure out what those things are that are connecting the pieces to the clients you already have, and then because at the end of the day, when you business leader aligns your team with your message, you become unstoppable.
Yep, that's true, James. But guess what? You don't get away that easy. We always, if we can help it, dance out. So let's do this.
All right, cool. Here we go.
All right.